Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is May 1st, 2024, and Barcelona are currently awaiting La Liga's response in regards to their financial fair play. Also, Barcelona are currently in negotiations with Pedri to extend the contract of the midfielder. And finally, we are going to talk about the possible destinations for Vitor Roque come this summer. We have a lot to discuss. So let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo and I am still on vacation, so I am away from my YouTube studio. That's why I'm bringing you this short live video to keep you up to date on all the Barcelona news. This is not a podcast, so I won't be addressing the chat section. I won't be reading your comments out loud. This is just to bring you all the Barca news in the live manner since I am away from my computer, equipment, etc. So I cannot be editing and uploading videos. And I haven't said all of that. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. All of this helps this channel continue to grow. Now let's begin with the news because Barcelona are currently awaiting La Liga's response in regards to their financial fair play. Now, as I discussed a few weeks ago, Barcelona were preparing all their paperwork, all their finances, all the spreadsheets, their revenues, their losses, investments, sponsorship, etc. They're preparing the whole package in order to send to La Liga to see how much financial fair play margin they will have this summer, so they know how much margin they have to sign players. That way they can start preparing for the summer transfer market. And while now it's being reported that Barcelona have done just that, they have gathered up all their paperwork that La Liga requires. They have sent it over to La Liga, and now they are awaiting Javier Tebas' response or La Liga's response to see how much Barcelona will have, or how much margin will Barcelona have come this summer. And of course, Barcelona will be short on their budget, about 100 million euros, 40 million euros that Libero were supposed to pay in December for Barca Vision, the other 60 million euros that Libero are also supposed to pay this summer for Barca Vision. But as I told you before, Barcelona are counting on that Nike renewal where Nike are going to pay 100 million euro signing bonus, and that's how Barcelona are going to cover those 100 million euros that they're short on in their budget from the sale of Barca Vision. Barcelona also had some shortage in their budget from the low attendance at the Montjuic Stadium, but of course they are also planning to cover that mostly through friendly matches. We had that friendly match against Club America right before the winter break. Yesterday, I told you that Barcelona will be traveling to South Korea at the end of the season for another friendly match. So either way, Barcelona are confident that they're going to be able to cover all the budget deficits that they currently have, and they are confident that La Liga will approve all their paperwork and that Barcelona will return to the 1-to-1 ratio for the summer, which would allow Barcelona to use every euro they make from the sale of players in order to sign new ones. Now, of course, this is not confirmed yet. La Liga are still reviewing Barcelona's paperwork. They could ask for more. We don't know yet. But we do know that in the next few weeks, La Liga should be giving Barcelona a response to see how much Barcelona have a margin for signing the summer, and we'll see whether La Liga will put us back on that 1-to-1 rule. So make sure you stay tuned to the channel because as soon as we do have a decision from La Liga, of course, I will be reporting. And now, speaking of financial fair play rule margin, it's reported that Barcelona are currently in negotiations with Pedri in order to extend the midfielder's contract. Now, Pedri's contract expires in 2026, but as I've mentioned over these past months, Barcelona are working really hard to renew the contracts or extend the contracts of all the players that they consider essential, that they consider as the cornerstones of Barcelona's project. Players like Ronald Araujo, which Barcelona are in negotiations to renew his contract. Players like Alejandro Valde, who they just renewed. Lamine Yamal, who they just renewed. And of course, Pedri, who even though his contract does expire in the summer of 2026, Barcelona want to secure the future of this youngster, and therefore they have begun negotiations with the player's agent. In fact, Laporta has participated in many of these conversations because that's how important Pedri is to the club, where the Barcelona president himself is being involved, because Barcelona want to make sure that Pedri extends his contract with the club. Now, talks have gone really well so far. It's obvious that Barcelona want to keep Pedri. Pedri has communicated to the club through his agent that he also wants to continue at Barcelona. So everything is going well. However, there is no agreement yet, because Barcelona, of course, cannot renew Pedri's contract yet due to the financial fair play. Barcelona first need to figure out their financial fair play before they can renew the contract of Pedri. Plus, there isn't, it's not as urgent, because again, his contract does expire in the summer of 2026, so we still have 2 years. But just know that Barcelona want to keep Pedri. Pedri wants to stay at the club. Conversations are going really, really well. No agreement yet, but agreement is set to come down the road once Barcelona have more financial fair play rule margin. Now, more news, because we now got to talk about the possible destinations of Vitor Roque come this summer. Now, there's been a lot of talks about Vitor Roque possibly being sent out on loan this summer. Of course, I reported in a previous video that the player has said that he does not want to leave on loan, that he wants to stay at the club, he wants to fight for his spot. Also, Deco is not in favor of sending Vitor Roque on loan. However, in case anything changes and Vitor Roque is eventually sent out on loan, there are two clubs who are very interested in the player. The first one being Sevilla, and the second one being Real Betis. Now, these are two clubs that had already shown interest in Vitor Roque in the past. Sevilla were interested in Vitor Roque this past summer when Barcelona signed them. They were tracking him, monitoring him, trying to sign him. But once Sevilla saw that Barcelona and Real Madrid were involved in this operation, they, of course, backed off, because Sevilla does not have the financial muscle that Barcelona and Madrid have. As far as Real Betis, they tried to sign Vitor Roque 2 summers ago. So these are two clubs that have been tracking the player for quite some time. They are very interested in the player, and it's reported that they could be possible destinations for Vitor Roque, because they are still very interested in taking the player on a one-season loan. Now, I personally, in my opinion, I think Real Betis would be the better choice for the better option for Vitor Roque. First of all, Real Betis is a team that plays very similar to Barcelona as far as the possession. Also, Real Betis are going to be playing European competitions, so that's good for Vitor Roque, so he can get some experience on the European stage. And finally, Real Betis is always a club that has had a really good relationship with Barcelona, as opposed to Sevilla, who used to have a good relationship with Barcelona. But of course, we cannot forget what they did recently, where they, released that statement criticizing Barcelona in the Negreira case. They also refused to attend the luncheon with Laporta. They refused to be in the presidential balcony for the match between the two. So I think that given how Sevilla have behaved, I wouldn't even entertain sending any players their way or negotiating with them in regards to any players, just how they behave. So I personally believe that Real Betis would be a better option. But of course, I am curious to hear, what do you guys think? What do you think would be a better destination for Vitor Roque? Would it be Real Betis? Would it be Sevilla? Would it be another club? But let me know in the comment section. Now, again, no decision has been made. The player does not want to leave the club. Deco wants to keep Roque in the club, but just in case he does end up leaving on loan, these are the two clubs who are most interested in taking Vitor Roque on loan this summer. Now, I personally believe that this is a situation that's been extremely mismanaged by the club, or mishandled by the club, because Vitor Roque was a player that the club signed with kind of like the intention that he's going to be, the future star of Barcelona. He's going to be the future center forward of Barcelona, the guy who's going to be scoring a lot of goals for Barcelona. The club paid, 30 million euros fixed, with another 30 million euros in variables yet to be paid. The club even ended up paying extra in order to bring him this winter transfer market instead of the summer. So after doing all of that, it makes absolutely no sense to then end up sending the Vitor Roque out on loan. That does not make any sense to me, especially since Roque was brought in so he can be Lewandowski's competition, but yet he's not being that. So I don't think that the club are handling this well. And plus, what I'm worried about is what kind of message are we sending out there to other players? For example, we know Esteban William, Messinho, he wants to come to Barcelona. He's set to be the future star. What kind of message would we sending to Messinho, where we're like, yeah, we're going to sign you like the star. We're going to spend all this money on you. And as soon as you arrive, we're not going to give you a single minute to play. And then we're going to send you out on loan. I don't think it's a good look for the club. I think the club definitely owes us an explanation on what's going on with Vitor Roque. I know they keep giving us the story about that he's still adapting, he's still learning, etc., etc. But I think it's time for a better explanation. I mean, what is it? Is it Xavi that doesn't like him? Is it Xavi getting back at Deco because Deco brought Roque when Xavi wanted a pivot? We definitely need an explanation because I don't think this whole situation is being handled the right way. But again, I am curious to hear what you guys' thoughts are about the whole Roque situation. So let me know in the comment section. Anyway, that is all for this video. We'll be uploading another video in a few more minutes. There's still more news that I would like to share with you. But for now, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. And as always, Bisca Barça.